Θα αλλάξουμε τελείως κλίμα και θα πάμε στην επόμενη και τελευταία καλεσμένη μας για απόψε, για σήμερα. Είναι μια γυναίκα που με την αυθεντικότητά της και την ανθεκτικότητά της έχει αλλάξει τελείως το στερεότυπο που είχαμε στο μυαλό μας, κακώς, για τις γυναίκες των σούπερ αθλητών. Είναι η ήρεμη δύναμη δίπλα στον star NBA σύζυγό της και εθνικό ήρωα για την χώρα μας. Είναι μητέρα 4 παιδιών και μόνο γι' αυτό τις βγάζουμε το καπέλο όλες. Και Διευθύντρια Στατηγικών δράσεων του Charles Antetokounmpo Family Foundation, το οποίο με τη δύναμη του αθλητισμού αλλάζει τις ζωές των παιδιών και στηρίζει ευάλωτες κοινότητες από την Αθήνα μέχρι την Ιγυρία και το Μιλγουόκι των Ηνωμένων Πολιτειών. Πρόσφατα μίλησε με πάρα πολύ ειλικρίνεια για την επιλόχειο κατάθλιψη που αντιμετώπισε μετά την γέννηση του 4ου παιδιού της, ανοίγοντας μία συζήτηση που αφορά μία στις 8 γυναίκες και η οποία περνά συνήθως απαρατήρητη. Έτσι μας θύμισε ότι η δύναμη συχνά κρύβεται και στο να αγκαλιάζουμε την ευαλωτότητα. Κυρίες και κύριοι, παρακαλώ υποδεχθείτε την Mariah Antetokounmpo. Ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ που είσαι εδώ μαζί μας. Καλησπέρα.
Καλησπέρα.
So life in Athens comes with a lot of attention lately. I mean, we have seen fans following you everywhere, like even to restaurants. And how do you and your family manage with all that visibility in Athens, especially with 4 young children?
Yeah, I definitely think after Eurobasket and the team accomplishing a medal for the first time in so many years, it definitely kind of changed. I think it's shifted even more where we go places and are recognized more frequently. But I appreciate it because, like, having those people support my husband and my family is also like what gives us the platform to do what we do and to like raise awareness for things that are important to us. But at the same time, it's hard with kids trying to explain to them, like, oh, they're like, why are they asking for pictures? And my oldest will always be like, no pictures, no pictures. And we have to tell them, it's okay, we got it, because they just can't process it yet. So it's hard, but I understand that it's a part of it. It's just for the kids, can be a little bit more difficult.
Being a mother of 4 is true happiness, but it can also be very challenging, both physically and mentally. And you recently opened up about this dark side of motherhood and how you experienced postpartum depression after the birth of little Aria. How did you acknowledge the symptoms? When did you realize that something was not well?
With our first, he was born right at the beginning of COVID. And I was actually seeing a therapist then because I was diagnosed with postpartum depression with our first son. So when it came to Aria, I knew right away the symptoms and what was going on and the thoughts that were intruding. And actually, prior to her birth, I experienced like severe anxiety, so much so that like I was self-diagnosing myself. I was talking to my doctor that I was convinced I had like a terminal illness and I wasn't going to be around for my kids and my husband, and I was just very was extremely anxious.
That was while you were pregnant.
Yeah, while I was pregnant in my 3rd trimester. So I kind of had this thought that okay, afterwards I might struggle. And then our family went through a lot of changes. Season ends, we come to Greece for the summer, and I just knew there were going to be a lot of changes within our family. And so at that time is when I kind of started really feeling the symptoms and secluding myself, not talking to my family as much, not talking to my friends at all. And I kind of knew, and people who are close to me kind of knew, and they tried to help me, tried to reach out, but it's such an internal battle that you don't want to burden them. You don't want to put your problems on them when I live such a great life, and I'm so blessed. Like I felt like they shouldn't take that on. Like I should be able to deal with that myself. And so it was very hard, but I'm slowly figuring it out.
You felt that you must only feel grateful and that you are not in need of support.
Yeah, exactly.
What helped you get through this very difficult time? Did you seek professional help?
So with our first, with Liam, I did. With this one, after Aria was born, I chose not to, just because I didn't prioritize the time to do it. Like having 4, going from 1 to 4 is like such a jump. So trying to, and really quickly, we have 4, 5 and under. So just trying to prioritize myself and finding that time and seeking professional help was hard. So I just kind of went back to what I knew from Liam and what my therapists talked to me through then. And like the biggest thing is that he told me to set my mind on 3 things that could help me. Like, so it was like, I'm healthy, I'm loved, and I can't remember what my third one was then, but it was, I'm healthy, I'm loved, and I'm blessed. And I would say those 3 things to myself over and over again whenever I felt really, really low. And I was on anti-anxiety medication as well. So that helped at one point as well.
What would you say to young mothers who experience the same symptoms? What should they do?
I would definitely say not be ashamed to reach out, not be ashamed to not feel like you're going to be a burden on other people and other people in your circle, on your family or your friends, because so many more people than you think have been in similar situations, or may not be postpartum depression. It could be something totally different surrounding mental health, but not to seclude yourself or be embarrassed to reach out to those other people in your circle.
Do you think postpartum depression is overlooked by society and undertreated?
I definitely think that I can relate most to America, because that's where I have been born and raised and spent the majority of my life, and especially in the Black community, which I can identify with the most, is it's completely overlooked. We get a doctor, as women who just gave birth, we have 1 doctor's appointment at 6 weeks postpartum. Like leading up to pregnancy, you see the doctor once a month, every 2 weeks, every week, and then after you give birth, it's a one time, 6 weeks later, when you're supposed to be healed. And I find that very isolating for women who may be in their first pregnancy or maybe in their 4th, because it's like, where are those resources? How do you, like for somebody who doesn't know, who doesn't have the resources, where can you reach out to get them? And similar to on the male side, where male mental health is very overlooked and not prioritized because of this, what's the word I'm thinking about? Sorry, mom brain. Stigma, thank you. The stigma that you're weak for seeking that help. I feel like it's kind of like that for moms especially, because you're supposed to be the strong one. You're supposed to wake up and have everything ready to go, and the kids are looking up to you to be strong. So I think it's similar in those aspects, where it's just not prioritized in a lot of parts of the world.
It's a typical motherhood thing to not prioritize yourself, like always prioritize other people. And on top of that, you are the wife of a global sports star, an NBA superstar, whose life is also very, demanding, and the schedules are crazy. So how do you deal with this pressure and the exposure of this life?
I think I try to keep as much stuff as I can private, and there's certain parts of our life we don't share, and we try to create this balance where we know people are interested and we know people want to know things about us, but there's certain things that shouldn't be shared. So it's finding that priority, that what is a priority to share. And I think using our platform for me to be able to share my experience with postpartum depression, or when Giannis goes on and talks about his mental health and how he's dealt with dark times when it comes to basketball, I think that's the stuff that we should prioritize sharing, and that's what we try to share. Like we'll share bits and pieces of the fun side of us, because that's who we are too, but making sure we're using our platform to bring awareness to things that we've personally been through and that are important to us. I think that's how we find balance.
You might have heard of the term WAG, wives and girlfriends.
Yeah.
It's a cliche that especially the media uses, especially British tabloids, to describe like Victoria Beckham and the superstars' wives. Have you ever felt that you fit or don't fit in that community?
I feel like the term WAG is just that, a term. Like what a lot of these women show on social media is just a part of their life. Just like with me, I live a pretty normal life. Like I wake up, I get my kids ready for school, I drive them to school, like I take them to all their activities. You know, there's definitely benefits of, you know, we're very blessed. We get to go on vacations and we get to do these things. But I think that the word WAG has just highlighted that part of it, not who these women really are. Mm-hmm. And I'd love to see more women who are significant others of professional athletes come out and show like what their life really is like, not just the glamour and the glitz and what they get to experience, because it is different. Like you have to deal with the fame, you have to deal with the criticism. Like some people hate my husband, some people really love him. You know, you have to deal with that and how that affects you. So while I guess I fit the textbook definition, I think there's so much more to these women that we can come together and we can really make a difference in so many different ways and change that stigma around what a WAG, I guess, traditionally is.
You always stand up for Giannis and you support him all the time. Have you experienced difficulties and challenges through these 11 years
10.
of your relationship?
10
years.
Been 10 in February we've been together, so almost 11. Feels like a lot longer. Yeah, of course. We definitely have had challenges. As you mean in our relationship or just in general?
In general, like which were the most difficult times that you went through?
So definitely when he lost his dad. That was definitely a difficult time just for the whole family, and it definitely changed the trajectory of how a lot of things went and just who he is as a man. Like Giannis, like how he's developed since then and how he's grown is unbelievable. And I just applaud him for that. Like he really stepped up for his family, for his mom, for his brothers. And I think that in our relationship was a defining moment, because it was a very, very dark time for him. And so us being able to come out of that and grow and be where we are today is amazing.
It was very sudden and very premature, only at 53 years old, Charles Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
What do you think Giannis appreciates in you the most, and what do you appreciate in him? While we were doing our shooting for Marie Claire, he said, what I fell in love with in Mariah is that how she is always willing to help others.
Yeah, I would think.
What do you love in him?
What I love most about him is who he is, like outside of being Giannis, being the Greek freak. Like who he is at home is what I love the most. Like him just being how caring and how loving he is for like our family and his family, and like people get to see it and in some ways, but just like the person he is at home is like he's like my best friend, and he's just a wonderful person, and like people get to see sides of that, but I really truly get to see who he is, and I just like love every bit of that. He's not perfect, I mean no person is, but like I think he's just a great person, and that kindness and that protectiveness and that loyalty, like he like just showers me with that, and I think that's what I love most about him. And I think for me, he would say, as on top of me being him saying I'm selfless, I think I just let him be who he is, and I try to make life as easy as possible for him, because if he's great, then our family's great, and I'm great. And so I really pride myself in making sure he's okay and making sure he can do everything to the best of his abilities so that we can be great as a family and as a unit.
Have you guys ever go to his old neighborhood at Sepolia?
Yeah, we go at least once a year, like just driving around. And this year we actually took our kids, our two oldest are like, can't really understand, but they kind of understand. We took them and showed him where he lived and where he used to walk with his brothers and his parents. And that was really meaningful. They're like, oh, wow, Grandpa lived there? Because we talk about his dad still with them. He's like, oh, wow, that's where you went to school, you know? And they don't quite understand. They're still young, but like just seeing their faces and hearing them ask questions was pretty awesome. But we try to go back every summer.
You grew up very differently, though,
Yeah.
in California, within a large family, like
Yeah.
you've said, a village,
Yeah.
with Mexican origins and African-American origins.
Yes.
So how did they define you, though, your childhood years?
I think growing up with that village has really taught me that that's what I think defines who I am, because I really feel like people deserve a village. Like no one should have to go through what they're going through alone. So a lot of the charitable work that I do and that I'm passionate about is creating that village for families and creating that community, because that's where what I grew up with. I grew up with cousins and aunts and uncles. Like I come from an extremely large family on both my mom and my dad's side. So just being that community for other people is what's really pushed me to give back and want to give back and have that passion.
Do you miss them?
Yes, I miss. My sister's here with me, and I'm so blessed because she's amazing.
Hi, Maya.
But I do miss my parents. I have another sister as well and a niece, and we're very, very close, and I do miss them, but they come and visit me when they can. Whenever I need them, especially my mom, it's just a call, and she'll be there, so I'm blessed for that.
Is there one core value that you from your upbringing that you carry with you?
I think the biggest one is the village, is everyone deserves a village, but also that to treat all people the same. Like one of my biggest things is you should treat the CEO the same way you treat the janitor. Like everybody deserves that empathy and that love and you to care about them, not just because, oh, Giannis is Giannis, he should be treated one way when somebody else shouldn't be, should be treated a different way. I really value treating people with respect and love and empathy and trying to put myself in other people's shoes. So I think that's something that I try to do all the time in every situation I'm in, and as much as I can, and I think that's what's stuck with me through my life.
When you went to college not in California, in Texas.
Texas, yeah.
Right. You studied sports management and sociology.
Yeah.
With full
scholarship.
Scholarship.
Yeah.
With full scholarship. And you also played volleyball.
Yeah.
What were your hopes and your dreams at that time? What were you dreaming of?
Yeah, I enjoyed volleyball, but it was never something that I wanted to pursue professionally. I think even in college, my dream was to work for a foundation. Like specifically because I was in sports, I wanted to work for NBA Cares or the NBA Foundation. That was like my end goal. And you know, now I'm able to do that for a living, and I'm so passionate about it, and it means so much to me. So it kind of full circle, like something that I was really passionate about in college now is what I get to do every day, and I appreciate that, and I love that.
It's amazing, and I would love you to talk about this more. I mean, your role at the Charles Antetokounmpo Family Foundation. What are you doing there? What kinds of, in which parts of the world do you operate, and what do you offer? Yeah,
so we operate in Nigeria, Greece, and Milwaukee. We focus on families' basic needs, using sports and using the boys' backgrounds to support families and support the communities that mean a lot to them, which is Greece, Nigeria, and Milwaukee. So
there's the basketball academy in Athens.
And in Milwaukee.
And Milwaukee,
yeah.
Right.
They look differently both places because kids' sports look different in Greece versus in the States. In the States, kids have access to sports through school, whereas I believe in Greece it's a little differently. It's a lot of clubs and academies. So here it's a year-long academy where we support students with food monthly, with their families with food monthly. We have a work program There's mentorship programs, there's a scholarship program with a lot of our partners. So it looks a lot differently here, whereas in the States, it's only for the summer. It's a few weeks in the summer, and it's similar. They still get the mental health aspect, they get food, and they get education during those academies. It just looks differently. So that's our biggest initiatives with CAF. We also have smaller ones. I'm really passionate with Milwaukee Diaper Mission in Milwaukee. We've hosted family days where families come in and they spend a day just being a family, just being kids, just having fun, and then they get to leave with basic needs, essentials that can help them at home. So there's a few other different projects we've worked on as well.
What is the profile of the people you help? Is it immigrants? Is it African Americans, or just all people who are in need?
It's all people. It's not a specific group. We really believe in equality and making sure that anybody who needs that help, if we can help, we're going to. So it's really about inclusion and including. It's not just for immigrants. It's not just for the African American community. It's for all people in, whether it be Athens or whether it be Milwaukee, we work with different partners in the communities that, but yeah, the people look all different.
Have you found the next Antetokounmpo?
We're definitely not looking for the next Antetokounmpo. That's not the goal at all. And I think that's what some academies, that's what is so different, is that's what we're not looking for. We're looking to build the character, to build the kid from not just as a basketball player, but as a person. So we support them through work programs and scholarship programs. Some of the students involved have gone on to college, and we've been able to support them through there, because not everybody it's not common just to become the next Antetokounmpo, So making sure we're supporting them in a realistic, meaningful way is what is really important to us.
That's amazing, and congratulations. So at CAF, there's this motto that the power of sports is changing lives and communities. And of course, Giannis' own story is an example. How can we make this reach more kids, more children, you think? How can we make how can we help more kids through sports?
I think just making it more accessible. Making sports, I see so many, when I'm driving around, I see so many courts and so many abandoned courts that are inaccessible. When we're working in Nigeria, projects we've done in Nigeria, we've built new sport courts, we've built soccer pitches, we've built things to help to give people access, because not every kid has access. Some kids, they have to go home and help their parents. So whether that be helping their parents get job training that can help them bring in a steady income, and those kids can then be kids and play sports and work and go to school and do things like that. Those are ways that that's something CAF's trying to do, is we're trying to not just help the kid, but help the family unit. So through our work program here in Greece, we're giving the parents job training so that they can go out and then go hopefully get a job that brings in a steady income, and then their kid can then go to the academy and and grow and pursue their own dreams while their parents are able to take care of the family, because that's important. If kids are helping the family, providing financially,
like Giannis and his brother did.
Yeah.
They had to work and support and contribute to the family.
Definitely. So trying to help the family as a whole, not just the kid, I think is very important.
And is there a powerful story that you would like to share from your time at the foundation, in a specific city? Or
I think our work in Nigeria is really meaningful. We went back to his mom and his dad's village, and we built fresh wells to bring fresh water so that families aren't having to go down to the river, and because a lot of times the young girls and the moms and the women have to miss school to go get the water from rivers and bring it back. So the work we did in Nigeria is building fresh wells and what's the word I'm looking for? Rebuilding the schools and rebuilding some of the infrastructure around their villages, really touched me because I got to see work past what I can do in America and what we can do here in Greece. It was like a little bit more deeper because those people, those individuals really were like truthfully in need, and seeing the happiness of their mom was just amazing because that's her community, that's where she was raised, and seeing her being able to go back there and provide that community with something we could take for granted, fresh water and access to a clean community center. It was amazing. She was very happy. So I think that was one of the most special projects we worked on.
Great, congratulations, and keep the good work. And I would like to close on a different tone.
Okay.
And will you tell us 3 things or less that people don't know about you, although you live under the spotlight?
3 things people don't know about me.
Because you're really very private,
Yeah.
although you share a lot of stories.
3 things. I love tennis. I'm working on my tennis game at the moment.
And you play volleyball, right?
Yeah, I still play for fun.
On the beach?
On the beach, yeah. I don't know.
Okay, I will tell them that you're on the cover of Marie Claire next Sunday. So everybody buy Marie Claire next Sunday.
Yes.
With Mariah on the cover.
And
she's our cover girl.
I guess one other thing is I'm actually extremely self-conscious when it comes to taking photos. So like sometimes when people are like, can I have a photo? I'll like make an excuse just because like I really just don't like how I look in photos. So I'm like, I actually don't feel well today, or I can't right now, because I'm very, very self-conscious when it comes to taking photos.
I can tell you look fabulous on photos, and we have proofs for that. You will see, ladies and gentlemen, next Sunday or on our Instagram.
Yeah. So
thank you so much, Mariah.
Thank you
for such this rare interview.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.